Implementations are complex. Companies tend to really focus in on the functional aspects of the software when they go to select and when they go to implement. It's not typically the functional misfit that's an impact on the implementation. It has more to do with people's willingness to change. Employees of companies looked for off-the-shelf solutions to fit them in terms of how they do stuff today. That's a problem. And so then they get into enhancement hell, which pushes out projects. Interfaces are difficult to do. They look at it from a technical perspective in terms of how information is flowing between the different applications, but they don't look at it in terms of like what's the volume of transactions and what are the business processes surrounding them. And so they end up in this churn cycle of design and try, and typically the interfaces are going long, and that's impacting things. So we talked about change management, we talked about interfaces, and the third area where we typically see a lot of challenges is in master data. So when we get into complex manufacturing or highly complex bill of materials and those types of things, those are big projects that are underestimated. So our clients go into conference room pilots with a subset of products. They go through and they test those subset of products, and then they find out they have this massive data conversion and massive build out of formulas and bill of materials and those types of things, and it pushes the project out. And the last piece that I'll just comment on is that implementations are typically underplanned on the front end. Okay, so they go at it from the perspective of the ERP provider is looking at it in terms of how do I fit into a certain budget, and they make assumptions about how much the client can provide in terms of resources. And the client is assuming that for the investment that they're going to make, that they're going to need a lot more support. And so they end up with disconnects on budgets, which therefore the projects are understaffed and they go long, and then projects go over budget, and there's a big problem.